It is a big boat. It's got more volume in the stern than the Phantom. The kick rocker's pretty similar. You know? Similar-ish. It's a big boat right there, buddy. It's a real big boat. Alright, YouTube. Here it is. The Gnarvana medium against the Nirvana medium. Similar yet very different. Let's get some measurement. We got about 14.5 to the parting line. About 13.75 on the Nirvana. Stern at the bottom is about 9.5. 13.5. Big difference. So this has got a smaller recessed area. This is bigger, easier to get off. So you got the horizontal oriented grab loops. I really like this. They've got full-size grab loops here instead of these little safety clips that you can really only use if you're pinned. Can't really hold on to them. The cockpit underneath here is textured. It's smooth. You can even feel it here. Like, it's textured, but it's smooth. It's not like gonna chew up any of your gear, but gives it a little bit of extra friction. Got a clip for your pins, and same thing for the grab loop there. But look at how the stern tapers. You got a ton more rocker in the back here and a more narrow tail. They do have the molded in sidewall here, which is great. I think that is a great feature. Just makes it more stable. You got the standard Jackson outfitting. There's really no difference between these two at all. It's got the standard shock cord bulkhead system. That's all the same with foam, all that. That's standard Jackson issue. You know, the one thing I do like to do, it seems silly, but you know, you've got one large loop here, whereas in the past they had these two little ones and they were right over the nut to adjust the seat, and man, it was so hard to get a throw bag or anything in there. And now you've got a good sized loop to do a throw bag, and you still got this up here for a drink. I really like that. Minor detail, but it is nonetheless pretty good design detail. So let's look at the hull. This one, you can see this kind of goes pretty much all the way up to the bow. You got this stepped kind of angled chine right here. Goes down. Radically different edge though. Look at that. Radically different. So this is the Nirvana, not the Gnarvana. So you can really see the difference in the whole design. Let's look at the Gnarvana. This is a big difference. I've already got it a little chewed up because I paddled today. Look at that, it kind of tapers out, fades out at the stern and the bow. But look at those rails. Look at those rails. Rails for days. Look at that. Look at that. And man, they love to be engaged. But then they fade out at the bow. Nice flat bow area. And really just a great boat to paddle. In my experience today on Cheoah is, you know, you've got rails where you want them, but where you don't want them, they aren't there. And it is so easy to engage these rails. You put this thing up on the sidewall, and man, it will carve into an eddy like you would not believe. It makes my Nirvana pretty much feel like a displacement hull, if that's possible, just because those rails are so strong, and I absolutely loved them. Absolutely made this boat a delight to paddle. Truly, really liked it a lot. This boat was a ton of fun to. So you can see, you know, it really carries a ton of volume forward on the bow, just to an amazing level. Yet you still also have a lot of rocker. The medium code look to have a little bit more rocker. And I was with Wade Harrison today. I'm sure he's going to do a video. I'll leave him to discuss all that. But you know, I always thought the Nirvana carried a lot of volume forward, but this is next level volume forward. And what that does, and Jackson Kayaks in their video yesterday on the release video, they talked about this, how this wide volume forward to the bow helps when you come into a feature or a drop. You've got so much surface area right here that it basically causes that bow to automatically skip up. And I can tell you after today, I think that is a very accurate statement of what this width up here at the bow does, because it's truly one of the driest boats I've ever paddled. And I would boof Bear Creek Falls and, you know, God's Dam up above that, and just really anywhere, and it would just land so flat and dry, it was shocking. Just an absolute delight to paddle. I would say speed wise, even though you've got shorter waterline length, I was super pleased with the speed. It's maybe, I wouldn't be surprised in flat water if it's a hair slower, but in whitewater it sits so buoyantly and is so nimble, I genuinely couldn't tell any difference. I'll include a clip you'll see with this video of me doing some ferry work at yard sale, and it just ferried as well, really frankly maybe even better than my Nirvana did in that situation. I paddle Cheoah pretty much every release they have, so I've got it dialed in. So I was really glad I got to paddle this today for the first time there, because I could really paddle it in an environment that's bigger water for the Southeast and pushier water, and get a good idea of how it handles compared to the other boats. So let's look at this rail a little bit more. Look at that rails, look at that. I mean, wow, I like it. It's fast, it's nimble. I would say it was very agile. It's a good boat, very agile, pretty darn nimble. On land, when you sit in it, if you look at this bow profile, it just looks huge. But when you get in the water, it felt like a perfect size medium for me at 6 foot and about 175 pounds. And it did not feel oversized. The bow was not hard to manage. Genuinely had a blast paddling it today. And we ran multiple laps. We did one from the top down, and then ran excuse me, 2 other bridge laps. Had a blast. So as far as rolling, you know, it's an easy, I'm going to classify it as a pretty darn easy boat to roll. It's got maybe a hair more resistance with those rails than the Nirvana does. I did not find it hard to roll at all. I didn't have any combat rolls today at all, but just doing some flat water, you know, test rolls to see how it was. It was fine. I didn't have any problems with it. It felt very easy to roll, very comfortable. And it's not like some other boats that have come out in the past that I've seen a lot of beginners struggle. to roll, but this one actually rolls really well. I think the Nirvana maybe rolls slightly easier, but the Gnarvana really still rolls really easy. It was not challenging, it was not hard at all. And given either one of these two boats, if I was running something big and serious and stout, and I wanted something that's going to skip out of holes, going to ride dry, it's going to be fast, it's going to be nimble and responsive, it's going to let me carve into micro eddies that some other 9-foot boats are going to have a problem getting into, and I want to have excellent secondary stability and confidence to run stuff. This boat right here, that is what I would be taking. I can tell you that right now. And very confidence inspiring boat. I think Jackson really did a great job with this creek boat. I was shocked at how nimble it was. I bought it sight unseen, so when I first saw it and I sat in it, I saw how much volume was in the bow. I was like, ooh, I don't know how that's gonna go, but they really did a great job. Fabulous. This is not a dud to paddle. This is not a slug. It is a combination sports car and a battleship. You've got the powerhouse and stability of a battleship. You put an active paddle in the water with this boat, with that kind of battleship volume, with those rails and how sporty and agile it is, and you've got pretty much the best of both worlds. I've never paddled a drier boat that had so much secondary stability and was so much fun to paddle. And I'll tell you, the one thing in the Jackson Facebook live kind of promo that they did yesterday on the first day of release, I'd say the one thing that they didn't talk as much about that was immediately noticeable to me when I got in the water on it is the profound secondary stability. I was shocked at how much secondary stability was. And you put that up on edge, it almost felt like I was just laying on a brick wall that first time. I was shocked by it. And that was one of the things I loved about the Nirvana, was that secondary stability. You know, if you get hit by a curler, you know, that secondary stability would give you just an extra second to throw down a brace, keep yourself upright. As much as I loved it on that boat, it is multiple times better in the new one. Phenomenal secondary stability. I was amazed by that. So that's one thing I would say if Jackson didn't really talk enough about on their promo video, was the secondary stability. Everything else, they did awesome, and I can't say enough good things about this boat. Super enjoyed it. Looking to get it on the water more. Those are obviously just first thoughts after running some Cheoah laps, but that's a river I know well, and I loved how this boat handled that. Great boat. Good job, Jackson. Thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to a lot of fun time in some bigger whitewater in my new boat. And honestly, love the color scheme. Really like it. So thanks for watching. Thanks, Jackson. Great job. So when I did a bridge lap with Wade Harrison and Jacob, I got to paddle Wade's medium scorch. So I'm going to throw a video up here of my Nirvana lines combined with the scorch line, so you can see them side by side. Overall, I'd say the Nirvana is faster, more stable, just as agile, skips out just as good, maybe better. Certainly a drier ride and skips out more dry. Scorch is the fun boat, don't get me wrong, but I really did like the Nirvana a lot. So anyway, here's those clips. Hope you enjoy that comparison. right, YouTube. There you have it. Those are my initial thoughts and review of the Jackson Gnarvana. It's a fabulous boat, super fun. I really did enjoy paddling a lot. Really looking forward to more time in it and running some big stuff in it. Cascades releases are coming up, so that'll be a blast to take it on that. And a lot of other stuff. So I am sure Wade will be having some more stuff coming out soon. We did a whole comparison in the parking lot between the medium code, medium scorch, the Phantom, and the Nirvana. And you should be seeing that real soon. I'm sure he'll have it out on his channel soon, so go check that out. And I hope this was helpful, and thanks for watching. Oh, geez, that's beautiful. Oh, I love that. They can't see that, I was too late. I know. Yeah, trying to stop traffic. Oh! What is this for?